Well, the Defence Minister, Stephen Smith, today announced that security clearances done on defence personnel between 2009 and 10 will have to be rechecked. Earlier this month, 3 whistleblowers told Lateline that information in thousands of security clearances has been fabricated to fast-track the application process. Well, the former Defence staff today said that many more security clearances will need to be rechecked to make sure that no one has slipped through the net. John Stewart reports.
The 3 former Defence Security Authority workers told Lateline that thousands of security checks had been fabricated under pressure from senior Defence staff to speed the process up. They said the compromised security checks included security guards working on Australian military bases, embassy staff and public servants with access to sensitive information. In response, the Defence Department said the allegations were not true. But today the Defence Minister said all security clearances on defence personnel between 2009 and 10 will now be rechecked.
Importantly, what our investigation has uncovered is that whilst we don't believe there's been a wholesale security breach, we do want to essentially run down every security clearance that was given over this period of time, and that will be affected.
The whistleblowers also claimed the Defence Security Authority was rife with bullying. Today the Defence Minister acknowledged that Defence had failed to properly deal with bullying claims.
It's now clear that some of the suggestions made on Lateline were made in general terms earlier. They weren't picked up by the Defence Security Agency. They should have been picked up by the Defence Security Agency, and so there's been an oversight in that respect as well, which is regrettable.
The rechecking of clearances has been confined to defence personnel at this stage.
The preliminary advice is essentially that we're dealing here with security clearances for defence personnel only. This was done by the Defence Security Agency before we moved to a more general Australian government vetting agency.
But the former Defence Security Authority staff say that many civilian security clearances were also fabricated and need to be rechecked.
Well, I hope that it's not confined to just defence personnel. I hope that it is widened to include civilian personnel, because civilian personnel were definitely being vetted at that time through the DSA in Victoria Barracks in Brisbane. And I'm hoping that he extends it further than he has stated that he will.
The former defence workers are calling for a Senate inquiry to encourage others to come forward.
At the moment it's very difficult to speak out, because the law says that if we're specific about anything, if we give names or times, then we can be prosecuted. So the only safe place for anyone who has worked in a security industry to speak out is in the Senate or on the floor of the Senate with parliamentary privilege.
A senior Defence Force staff member has told Lateline that right up until last month, security clearances were still being compromised. The staff member says the workload has doubled, the stress has doubled, and the incorrect data going into security clearances has also doubled. Tonight, Lateline has obtained a letter from a former Defence worker sent to the Defence Minister earlier this month. That person worked at the Australian Government Security Vetting Agency until last month. The letter states, Defence constantly tell you to fudge information such as dates for addresses and employment, and I was told to even fudge actual addresses and employment to fill in the gaps so that the ASIO check could be done. The Defence Minister says he's considering beefing up resources for the Inspector General of Defence to investigate the original allegations. John Stewart, Lateline.